and I go and takes me down, starts doing the dance, and I'm like,
you remember what song was playing?
no, I was too nervous. And I'm in a relationship, and so I'm like, I'm feeling a little weird about the whole situation. I'm not attracted to her really. It's like I'm just being nice.
Yeah.
And she starts doing stuff. I'm like, what's the rules? I was like, what are the rules? She's like, you could do whatever you want. And I go, no. I'm paying for just a plain lap dance. And she's like, oh, you just want the plain lap dance? So she stands me up, walks me basically to where the skeleton is, and goes, okay, now you sit here. Like, we went through a veil where it was like, here, you can do whatever. Here, you can't. I was just like, okay. And we did the dance.
That's why the skeleton is there. He's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to sit in the other spot.
Yeah. And I felt so bad. She, like, went and grabbed for my crotch, and it was airball. There's nothing there.
Man.
I, like, went inside myself.
Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire on the
We're good. All right. I say keep the mic. You know, you're a good. That's good. I could always adjust it from there. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Comedy Simp Podcast. It is me, Stephen Michael James, and I am here with the man, Jerry B.
Jerry Barnett.
Jerry Barnett, comedian extraordinaire. Where do people want to? Where can they follow you online?
On my Instagram, Jerry B Comedy. It's just Jerry B Comedy.
Jerry.B. Comedy. There we go. So you got to throw the dots in.
Got to throw the dots. I don't know. I might get rid of it at some point. We'll see.
Well, dude, thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming to my house, my garage, my studio. I'm sure it wasn't that far of a drive for you.
No, I live close.
Yeah, you live in Arlington area, right?
Marysville.
Marysville.
Yeah.
Even closer. Look at that. Well, shit, man. I remember first time I met you. Well, actually, I think when I started comedy, the first time I saw you, Tony V's, Everett. We were just there the other day. But yeah, it was right when I started doing comedy, going to Tony V's.
Shout out to Tony V's.
Yeah, Everett, Washington. It's a staple, a bar that still is hanging on there. You know, it's a staple of this Pacific Northwest comedy scene.
Yeah, every Monday night, it's pretty killer to be able to go up at any point and be like, let me try some stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
But it's. You know, man, I don't care if it's 2026 or if it's 2022. Tony V's is like, it's a time warp. It feels the same no matter what. So yeah, man, I think I remember seeing you a little bit, and then I didn't see you for a long time. And then randomly, I'm going over to Cabela's to get my family, go get my Christmas pictures with my daughter. And then I see Jerry B coming out with your family, right?
Yeah,
you know, so... how's things been, man? How is your life right now?
Wild. I got 2 kids. One's a 3-year-old, one's a 1-year-old, 2 girls.
Oh my gosh. So that probably explains the break for a little while that I didn't see you. So
probably. Yeah. But also I go up to Bellingham a lot and do comedy up there.
Yeah.
And I'd come back and do Tony V's. So we might just not cross paths. I know we saw each other one time at Mount Vernon at Cats.
Yes.
We were both on that.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Oh,
Yeah.
Shout out to Ben Menard. Good dude there. I want to actually that he's one of the next guys I was going to ask to come here because he lives up north as well. And so, you know, these Seattle guys, these Adam Tillers and Jay Markovitzes and Taylor Clarks, they all say they're going to come do the podcast, but then
good for you, huh?
They just changed their mind. But you know what, man? I got a real man here. I got a real guy with kids. Married? Wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How long you been married?
Fuck.
Long time?
You'd be in trouble. No, we've been together for 10 years, and I think it's been about 5 years.
Nice, man. Well, me and my wife, we've been married for 10, and then together, I guess, 13, 14 now. So
you know.
do you have what are your secrets, man, to make it work? You know, make it last so long.
Well, for me, it's just honestly being honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being honest, and like I knew right away when I dated her. Like I was in a long-term relationship before her, like all through high school and elementary school. Like my whole school years was with one person, and I was like a fake person because I was like trying to be what I thought she wanted. And then once we broke up, I was like, that felt uncomfortable. I never want to be that again. So as soon as I got in a relationship with her, my wife. I was like, let's be honest. Every single thing that we do, we're gonna be honest, and it's one of those things where it's just you connect.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to force much. You know, of course, every relationship has their fights, but like it's easy. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't take you for a guy that's like out there sleeping around with all the girls and the groupies and stuff like that.
He's saying I'm ugly.
It's I know for me, like me and my wife, number one, are friends. You know, like before we had the kid, you know, we would do things together that we really enjoyed. You know, I always, you know, you always watch these movies, you know, like movies growing up where like the wife is off with her friends, the husband's off with his buddies, like going fishing or, you know, whatever. And I don't think that that's necessarily the best recipe for a good relationship.
Yeah, for sure. I do think, though, it is important to make sure you do things separately.
Okay.
You have your things. But, yeah, no, it's weird when, like, people are in relationships that they never see their partners, like, by choice. Like, all right? What the hell? Like...
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, dudes are weird, and we can get to how weird they are. We've met a lot of them in this comedy scene.
Comedy dudes are really weird.
Yeah. But you're, what did you and your wife like to do, you know, before the kids? You know, what was the thing that kind of made you connect?
We just going out.
Yeah.
Just going out a lot.
Going out to dinner.
We spend a lot of time going out. Yeah.
Movies.
Yeah, movies. There was like that short period where they had Movie Pass.
Yeah, I remember that. I never got into it, but
God, it was so awesome.
It's like, well, so it was AMC. Was it AMC theaters or
when it first came out? It was like basically every theater.
Yeah.
There's this thing called Movie Pass, and you got like this debit card that
and it was like you pay a monthly fee, right?
And you can see as many movies as you want.
Yeah.
And we went. We had a movie theater right by. We lived up in Bellingham. We went to school together, and we would go and just get wasted at a burger shop.
Yeah.
And then walk to the movie theater and watch like 2 movies, and we'd be like, "Oh, that one was great. You want to go see it again tomorrow?" And so it was dope. And actually one time when we did that, like you could look and see what movies you've seen, and we were like, "Oh, we watched Avengers Endgame like 5 times." And then I remembered,
damn, that's a long movie.
Well, the reason why one of the times we rewatched it is we were in the middle of watching it, and we were like right at the end, and like spoiler, there's a moment where Thanos comes out, and he's like, we're in the end, like Endgame now, like a big fight's about to happen, and right when it happens, the screen goes black. And everyone's like, oh, funny, you know, like this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And guy working there comes out and goes, "We're going to need you all to evacuate." And we're just like, what? And we walk out, and there's all the police there, SWAT cars and everything. And people are like trying to be like, what's going on? And getting close. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And Bomb Squad was there. And apparently there's this guy, I think he was a homeless guy from like Florida, came up and watched the movie and thought of a perfect moment to come up, and he stood in the middle of like the aisles, had a backpack on, and goes, "You all worship false gods. You're about to meet yours now." And he flips his backpack in front, and somebody there like tackled him and waited until the cops come.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's scary. I mean, to just tackle somebody without knowing what's there, but you know, do you remember the shooting in Aurora, Colorado during the Dark Knight Rises? Like that, I mean, that was, you know, it was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but still, I mean, that's like literally your guard is down.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's dark. You don't know what's gonna happen until it's too late.
Your
You
senses
know,
are all
scary.
focused on
And
this.
you were there in that. The
I was
theater?
not in the one where it happened,
but it was during the theater. Like
Yeah.
they stopped the movie because
Yeah.
it happened in another theater.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And one of my professors when I was in college, he was there with his kids, and I'm like, I couldn't even imagine like
Yeah.
being in that situation with your kids, and you're like, this might be the end. You know,
Yeah.
for my kids, be like, get down, and
And be like, how do you know who I worship? You know?
yeah, I know.
I worship Tony Stark. You know, but you went to. So did you grow up in Bellingham or?
No, I actually grew up in Kent.
Okay.
I grew up really poor. I have a single mom. She had raised
Shout
3
out,
boys.
me too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have a dad, but they weren't together. Anyways,
Yeah.
long story.
So yeah, my dad left us when I was really young.
Yeah.
And so we were poor in Kent, and I lived in like welfare housing. And then once my mom got enough money to get kicked out of welfare housing, we lived in worse places of like the cheapest apartment you can get. And once I graduated, I had some buddies going up to Bellingham, and I was like, I'm gonna apply for school. Went to school up in Bellingham, and then just recently moved to Marysville because the cost of living in Bellingham is crazy high. And we're like, we have kids, where can we get a house? And we got one in Marysville. So
Nice, man. It's growing up poor. You know, it really. I think that there's just a certain thing that you get that other people don't have. Like, you know, like there's many times I was growing up where I felt jealous that, you know, my dad wasn't around, or that we didn't have a lot of money, or I didn't get to this and that. But now as we're older, I'm like, dude, those people are just kind of, they're really dull, you know, they're really dull.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that everybody needs to go through trauma and abuse, but you know, it
does build character, that's for sure.
It's great for comedians. I think.
Yeah.
I think it makes you comfortable in certain situations. Like, you know, I'm sure both of us have probably bombed a few times, but at least in my case, and I would guess for yours, it's never been an experience that like. That just destroys you, you know, like, because we got real problems, you know, with like families and kids, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had. I've had one where I was like, I did my good stuff, and it didn't hit the right way. Yeah. And it kind of messed with like my brain of like, am I good? But you get over and you go, oh, but I also did stuff and it kills most of the time. Yeah. And then I've had moments where it's like afterwards, the way that people viewed me, like I was like early on, and all my stuff was, you know, just hack penis jokes and stuff. And it was like, oh, that's all you talk about. You're the penis comic. And I'm like, shit. Like, I don't want to be seen like that. So it changes my way of viewing it. But it's not never like hurt me where I'm like, I'm so sad for days and days because of a bomb. You know what you're getting into. And also both of us aren't like doing it on the hugest stages where we're like bombing in front of arenas or anything. Yeah. So it's like, if I bomb an open mic, that's what open mics are for, you know?
Yeah. It blows my mind when people get on Kill Tony and they've never done comedy before. Dude. It just is like, I mean, when we go into like people who have done comedy and bomb, but just like, why would you want to subject yourself to that? Like, and especially like there's certain guys and you know them when they walk in the room, they're so cocky because they're like, I've watched all the Joe Rogans and I've watched all the Theo Vaughns and I'm ready and this is going to be so funny. And then nothing works. Yeah. And it's just, and everything that they say is like kind of, cringy.
Yeah. Also people that think that once you consume podcasts, that's how comedy is. It's like, no, comedy and podcast, completely different medium.
Yeah. I've been kind of changing a little bit on like what I feel like I'm influenced by, but before I get into that, the last thing I want to say about you growing up is I think another thing similar to me is your life now is pretty much the opposite of what your life was growing up.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and it's like purposeful, you know, it's like you purposely were like, this is I'm going to do something. I don't want to be the dad that I had. Basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely felt the same way.
Yeah.
Now I will say I do have a relationship with my dad and we're cool now, but you know, and he was on the podcast, but my situation was more like, him and my mom just shouldn't have ever got married, and then drugs were involved, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, minus addiction too. He was an alcoholic and and basically they had to split up. Like it was dangerous to be around, and he just kind of hung out with me when I was like really little. He would show up and then just out of nowhere just disappeared. And then when I was like 30, I get a call that he died. I'm just like, okay, and what do you want me to do about it? I don't know that. I don't know anything. And
they're like, well, he forgot to pay this.
Yeah, and they're like, you're the next of kin, so you got to deal with everything.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn. But luckily, I have some killer aunts on that side that help me take care of a lot of it. But it's just like, whoa, that like hit of being like, I'll never have that relationship. Like, like luckily you are able to connect with your dad now. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely different, and it's different because I have a daughter, so it's it's not like the whole father son thing. I always felt like too, and I maybe even do it sometimes still, is I would always find like guys that I thought were cool. And just kind of gravitate towards them, not necessarily as a father figure, but just like an older influence. Like I had an older brother that I lived with for a little bit, but then just always dudes that I worked with. I was like, oh, that guy's cool, or this guy was in a band like 10 years ago, he's, wise old,
like search for a father figure.
Wise old grunge dude,
Great dad.
So I'm really interested in this because not a lot of people like us do comedy, and also relationships. Like most comedians who are doing comedy, they started when they were single. So what's it like, and what's the conversation like when you talk to your wife and you're like, I'm kind of interested in doing this comedy thing and going to do an open mic?
Yeah, she was all for it.
Yeah, because was this before you had kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we knew we were gonna start.
Yeah.
So. This was like I made sure I graduated college because I was just too busy. College, I went to grad school, and so like I was
nice.
Yeah, so everything was like chaos, and like if I would have added comedy on top of that, we wouldn't have been together. Still, because it just takes a toll on you. And so as soon as college ended, I was like, I want to do some comedy. I want to try it. Let's see if I'm good.
What kind of got you into that in the first place? What was the idea?
Well, I've always been funny.
So okay, yeah. But like stand up itself, was it something that you watched when you were younger?
Oh yeah.
Or was it a casual thing?
I'm not as much of a comedy simp as you. Like
I'm
a
not,
lot more.
I'm not. It's kind of a rumor here. I mean, I'm more of a comedy simp for local comics.
Okay.
Like I'll constantly give shout outs to people that we know, that I like, and I do know a little bit about mainstream stuff, but like I would say 95% of comedy specials out there I've not seen.
Okay, so I'm similar, except the good thing you're in the local scene. That's even like where I'm bad. I'm just so shit with names too. To where it's like everyone mentions the name, like I think I know that guy. But when I grew up, we were watching comedy all the time, and like watched George Lopez when I was a little kid, and it was one of those things too. Where it's growing up poor. Like he'd be like, Mexicans are like this, white people are like this, and I'd be like, Mom, are we Mexican? Like, because we connected more with that, Yeah,
like, I used to watch a little bit older than you, I think, but I watched Married with Children, and that was kind of and Roseanne. Those were two shows that are also kind of this family I identify a lot more with than the Full House family.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, grew up. There was always like different stuff. Eddie Murphy once. When I was way too young to be watching it, I was watching Eddie Murphy, and then when I was in like middle school, Dane Cook. I was like, oh my God, he's amazing.
I discovered him from a friend. A friend had his CD and was like, you gotta listen to this. And it was some story about some guy getting hit by a car and flying over the car. And I that always stuck in my head. I always remembered that. And that was one of those early comedy seeds for me,
Yeah, and a ton of people have, opinions about Dane Cook, but it's like the way that he like acted everything out and was like so animated. Yeah. It was just so different from what I like knew, and so I was like, I really like that, and just all the, I watched. Then I get older, and then I get into stuff like Bill Burr, and Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle,
the greats,
like and
man, that's my Dave Chappelle, man.
just that,
it's the 1 second.
It's a good way to start.
You know Dana Carvey. The comedian, he does so many impressions. He calls it a micro impression,
okay.
And I was like, I'm pretty good at those. I'm not a great impressionist, but I could do like the nice like 2 second, like you know, I'm working on Bernie Sanders right now. It's like, let's see if I can do it. We are fighting oligarchy, you know. And that one's,
Nice.
It's not too bad, you know.
Yeah, I've never gotten big in impressions. I did like
Me neither.
Mario, like Super Mario, like
Yeah.
Yahoo!
Yeah, that's not bad.
Let's go.
But yeah, I'm really good at doing impressions of people that I know, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if I'm around somebody, like I can kind of get their voice and their mannerisms a little bit, especially like coworkers and all that. I think this is the thing that's going to really bring me to the next level. Is
your impressions of your friends?
No, I'm working on trying. I haven't really done a lot of material about my daughter. And like, you know, she just is such a character, you know, 7 years old, autism, ADHD, you know, spoiled princess, you know, she's the only kid in this house. So, I mean, you go in there, man, you're going to see dolls, you're going to see Play-Doh, slime. My wife's done a really great job of keeping the place clean, but either way, I mean, she's wild. How about your kids? What are they into? I mean, they're three. The 3-year-old. What's the 3-year-old into?
So
the 1-year-old's into sleeping and eating.
No, she's actually very sassy. The 1-year-old's very sassy.
Really?
Yeah. She just like recently picked up like going like all the time. Like she was.
Yeah.
And like give me these looks and I'm like, you want to fight, dude? But no, my 3-year-old, she's a nut.
Yeah.
Like she's always energy, go. We have take her to like this like school. It's like a pre-K.
Yeah.
And we were really worried, you know, we're like, she's gonna be too much. And right away they're like, yeah, she's a bit, but we're gonna work on it and work on it, and she's good. But she's like, you know, she's a kid, so she just will randomly like we get a message like she's just walking around spitting and not stopping. And we're like, where did she get that from? None of us spit around the house. And like she just does stuff like that. And she's go, but the same, like she'll say funny stuff and like do funny stuff all the time. And it's like, I know there's a lot to build on here.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna take this and work on it, but I always fucking forget it.
Yeah.
I always forget the funny things, and I'm like, I need to just have a notebook at all times. Be like, oh, that was hilarious. Let me write it down.
What I do, and I'm not the greatest at writing, you know, got a lot of personal things going on that's just taking away from my creativity. But what I try to do is if I have an idea, I'll use the phone to record. Like I'll say like, hey Siri, record, you know, record this, or make a note. You know, that's another one I do, make a note. But for me, I mean, writing it down with a pen in a notebook, that's the best way for me to actually formulate the joke. But the idea, my phone is just full of ideas. So now I'm just like, it's just work. I need to do the work and get through it. And I have all these ideas. As Trump says, I have a concept of a plan, you know, for what I want to do with the comedy. But
and then you look at those ideas and it's just like fart stick. And you're like, I don't know the hell I was on about there, but yeah, sure. And it was it always comedy, or was there anything that you were into when you were younger? I mean, like, did you ever do like sports or gaming? Gaming. Yeah. I'm a big nerd. I play a lot of games. I'm also into sports. Yeah. I played football in middle school, and then I tried to play in high school, but I hated school, so I just didn't show up, and because of that, I couldn't play. Yeah. Because you had to have like good attendance. But I loved football, like the Seahawks and NFL and stuff like that. But yeah, video games definitely was top, and just run around playing outside, you know, classic kid things. You know, I was always social. That was a big thing that is really great about having like being poor. Yeah. And having a single parent. Like my mom was gone. She was working all the damn time. So it was like I got home from school and I was like, fuck this homework. I'm going to go out and play with my friends and run around the neighborhood. And it was great. It was like diverse neighborhood because, you know, it's like.
It's Kent, all right?
Yeah. And so.
Kent, there's a lot of diversity in Kent.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. And then I moved up to Bellingham, like this white ass place. Yeah. Like, yeah.
You know, I do like Bellingham. I haven't spent that much time there. And it does seem like it's kind of changing a lot. Like kind of lose. You know, that's a big thing about Washington is it feels like the last 5-6 years that a lot of things have kind of, the old Washington's been going away and they're tearing down old stuff. COVID really knocked a lot of businesses out, like really old businesses. Bellingham is cool. I do like, the thing I don't like is the days that are just, they're overcast, but it's not raining.
Mhm.
So it's just like your eyes are just like, but it's not sunny and it's kind of cold. And it's like, but when it's like nice sunny day, it's
gorgeous.
it's great.
Yeah.
Whatcom Falls, a lot of good breweries up there too. It seems like, coming from California, there was so many breweries, and then I come up here and there are some, but it's just the beer culture up here is not the same.
Bellingham was a crazy booming beer culture when I was in college. And COVID really hurt it. And also the beer industry right now itself is struggling. The next generation of people don't drink as much, and so it's kind of just killing it.
Everybody's on weed.
Yeah.
Weed, mushrooms, ketamine. And that's just my friend Rob. Hey.
Yeah. I've never gotten into mushrooms and all this stuff, but I always had this thing where it's like, dude, everyone that takes mushrooms is like, dude, you gotta fucking take mushrooms. They're the best thing ever. And they always push it on me, and I'm like, it's like this parasite, this fungal parasite's taking over your brain. Like, you're constantly just trying to spread it.
Yeah. It's when I did it when I was 18, it was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
When I did it when I was like 23, I had a really bad time and I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of done a little bit of it in the past couple years, but it just never really caught on. You know, it's nothing. I never had any crazy visuals. Maybe because I didn't take enough, but I'm at the point where I don't want to be out of control.
Yeah.
I need to be able to, drive my car at any moment, if there's an emergency or something. So, the heavy drinking and then the heavy drug use,
Yeah.
And plus it's, I don't know. I want to reset my brain. The last 3 years in comedy has been okay. I feel like I've done a lot, but, I feel like I want to do something, it's like a songwriter, you feel like you wrote a bunch of crappy songs in your garage. Now you want to write the hits, you know? So
you're a dad.
Yeah. That's a hard.
Yeah. It's like, let me try some new drugs. I'm a dad. Let's do drugs more. Yeah. It's like, nah, it kind of shuts off.
Yeah. You got to come up with a different style.
Yeah.
You can't be a drug dad.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, have you ever, what's the best way to put it? I don't want to say get in the way, but has there ever been issues where you had to choose your family over comedy? You're on your way somewhere, or you had to go somewhere, or you had a show, or nothing like that.
I'm not doing shows that often.
Yeah.
So comedy is kind of taking a hit because of the family. But I want to be a good dad, and I got to make sure I take care of stuff, and also my wife is the moneymaker, so I need her to work. I'm not going to step on that. I'd like to have a house. And, I fucking basically lucked into finding her. Yeah. Because, I never lived in a house. And then once I got with her, she makes good money. And I'm like, I just need to be a good husband and be a good partner to her. And we'll keep things going. So I got to make sure that that's a priority in my life. But, I've definitely... It's like fake stuff. Like when you leave, anytime I leave the house, my kids are like, no! And it's just like, you're fine, dude. You'll be all right. But no, I haven't let it completely ruin stuff. I've had little moments where it's like planning. Yeah. Planning is just the issue. It's like, oh, I'm doing this spot. And she's like, you didn't put that in a calendar. And it's like, now we have to figure out ways to make it work. But nothing crazy.
Yeah. We operate on a calendar in my house as well, and here's an example. Last night, I was gonna go to your show, your open mic up there in Southpaw Brewing, Beach Cat Brewing. Sorry, I did not Southpaw. Beach Cat Brewing.
Beach Cat Southpaw. It's in Bellingham.
No, that brewery is cool. The location is cool. So I was gonna go up there because I had a great time last time I was there. And then my wife calls me and she's like, "Mom is back in the ER." You know. So, when you got an in-law who's dealing with lung cancer, stage 4, it's kind of hard to make comedy a priority.
Yeah.
You know, and even when you do have time, it's like, I don't feel like writing anything funny, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's kind of, it's been tough. So,
Yeah.
and then when I'm finally got some extra time and I'm ready to go, it's like, well, no, life
Yeah.
has to come first.
I guess, yeah, on that same boat, it's like we're not huge comics, so it's like not like you're not like canceling these giant shows.
Yeah. I would be very,
But
bummed out if I had to
yeah.
cancel like
It's like you canceled my open
show.
mic. Oh
Yeah.
damn!
Yeah.
Like that'd be all right.
I've already like, not necessarily, I don't think you messed up, but you know, it's, you hate to like disappoint anybody.
Yeah.
So it's like I've had a few instances where like, hey man, I would love to do that show, and then I'm like, oh wait, I can't do that show because I already agreed to do an open mic.
Yeah.
And then I look and I'm like, oh man, that open mic isn't even on that day. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
Or like somebody else is like, hey, can you do this show? And I was like, yeah. And then the next day I'm like, oh crap, I can't do that show. I'm going to be somewhere else. And then I messaged them and they're like, I already made the flyers. What the hell? I'm like, it hasn't even been 24 hours. So either way, I feel bad. Like I don't ever want to
let people down.
Yeah.
You're a people pleaser.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Same,
well,
same.
I am for people that I respect,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
like I don't go out of my way, like for everybody,
Oh, I do.
but like for you, I like, you're a cool guy. You've
Thank
already
you.
made, you know, like there's certain other comics that I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of, you come to me, I'm not going to come to you, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I am a people pleaser, and it is to my detriment a lot of the times.
Yeah.
You know, just like even when I went to one time I went to a strip club, there was like a lady dance that was like, "Hey, do you want to go with me?" And I'm like, I feel bad to say no,
Yeah.
so sure, but it's like I didn't like her at all. I was like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, and it's just like such a loser, such a people pleaser.
I've actually never been to a strip club. You know, I've been offered many times,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, just feels like a waste of money.
Yeah, and that was the one time I went, and it's gonna be probably the only time I'll ever go.
Where was it?
It was in Seattle. I actually have a little story. It was
Where,
my buddy's.
which club is this here?
Put them on blast.
No, is it the one near the stadium?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I know which one
Dream
that is.
Girls, yeah.
I've passed that one a few times.
But this was, I was like 8. I was gonna say 18. I was 21. I was like fresh 21. It was my buddy's bachelor party, and we were like, "You want to try it?" We had like 6 guys, and 3 of the guys were like, we're all in relationships.
Yeah.
3 were like, we can't go because our partners will be very mad at us. All their partners end up cheating on them. So
oh man,
I wonder why they didn't let you go.
Bummer.
Yeah. And then but the other 3 of us were like, let's try it out. And so those 3 were like, here's the strip club right here. We were drinking and stuff. And we walk up and we're like, all right, we're ready to go in. And the bouncer is like, looks at us and goes, you don't want to be in here. We're like, what? And they're like, I think you went to the wrong place. And we look and like it was a gay club.
ooh,
And we look back at our buddies and they're like, ha ha ha. They're like, we got you. I'm like, whatever. And then the bouncer looks at me and goes, but you might want to come in here. But then
you'd actually be really popular.
yeah. But then we ended up going to Dream Girls, and it was like really a lot going on. And like I walk up, they're like, go talk to DJ about deals. And they're like, you can get a regular lap dance for this much, a special lap dance for this much, or you could do whatever you want for this much. And I'm like, all right. And as soon as they say that, I turn around. Both of my friends are gone. I turn back to the DJ, and there's a stripper in my face. And I'm like, where the hell did you come from? You just descended from the ceiling. And she's like, do you want to dance? I was like, well, I feel bad saying no. All my friends are gone. Sure. And I go and takes me down, starts doing the dance. And I'm like,
You remember what song was playing?
no, I was too nervous. And I'm in a relationship, and so I'm like, I'm feeling a little weird about the whole situation. I'm not attracted to her really. It's like I'm just being nice.
Yeah.
And she starts doing stuff. I'm like, what's the rules? I was like, what are the rules? She's like, you could do whatever you want. And I go, no. I'm paying for just a plain lap dance. And she's like, oh, you just want the plain lap dance? So she stands me up, walks me basically to where the skeleton is, and goes, okay, now you sit here. Like we went through a veil where it was like, here you can do whatever, here you can't. I was just like, okay. And we did the dance.
That's why the skeleton is there. He's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to sit in the other spot.
Yeah. and I felt so bad. She like went and grabbed for my crotch, and it was airball. There's nothing there.
Man.
I like went inside myself, and so we got out, and me and all my friends like they finally were there, and we were like, let's just try to watch some dancers, and the whole time we're getting swarmed because this was on like a Wednesday at like 4 p.m. or something.
Oh yeah, slow tag.
Yeah, and they're all like trying to get us, and we're trying to push them away. Like, hey, we just want to look at the stage. And then this older stripper's like, "What's going on, honey?" And we're like, "We just want to be left alone." And she's like, "Bitches, go!" And like let all the ladies go away. And we're like, "Thank you. This lady is a saint." And my buddy, I look over to him, and he's literally talking to one of the strippers about her like life and like giving her an therapy interview. We're just like, dude, what the hell? And it was just we were all uncomfortable, and we were like having to push them away. And we go out, we leave, and we're sitting talking to the other three guys, and we're just like, man, this that strip club was rough. Like that was a hard time. And this guy comes out, he's like 50, big old gut, and he's like, bunch of queers out here complaining there's hot girls in there. I was like, yeah, he's right. I should have just went to that first strip club. You know? Like where I found out I was like, I'm too gay for a strip club, I guess. But
well, it is Seattle, and they are open to all sorts of people. But yeah, I mean, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what did these girls look like?
They were fine. It was like more the
It was
situation.
just awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward. You know?
Also, like
tattoos. That's kind of the new.
Yeah.
They're all tatted now.
Yeah. I did get to see a vagina for $5.
Whoa,
that was cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey.
I gave her $5, and she flashed me, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I see one every day. It's my daughter's. Sucks.
Yeah.
She's just like running around the house naked all the time. I'm like, one of these days, this is not going to be appropriate.
Yeah.
It's actually not appropriate.
Kids
now.
just love to be naked. I don't know what it is. Also, the thing that was interesting, too, is I think it's changed now, but back in the day, they couldn't have alcohol at strip clubs.
Yeah.
And I was like, such a bummer. I was like, also, like, I feel like, shouldn't you want your patrons? I guess you don't want them to harass.
Well, there's I don't know I know that there's different rules for different places. Like in California, you could definitely have alcohol, but I think in like Portland, the ones that are fully nude, they don't have alcohol, but the topless ones do something weird like that.
It was funny. They're like, you can buy the strippers drinks. I'm like, why? No.
Yeah.
You can just give you more money on top of the money that I gave you?
Yeah. I want to get that $21 apple teeny.
Yeah.
Please?
I was like, can I buy them all milk?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And buy them mineral water.
Yeah. Get them all burping.
Oh, well, what else? What were we talking about? Oh, the show. How'd the show go?
Oh, the show went great.
So this was last night. You do this once a month, right?
Yes, once a month. It's the first Thursday of every month, unless like we had the New Year's Day. It was like we're not gonna do that day, but the first Thursday of every month we had Lucy Tolfson, Richard Bowen, and they killed it. And we had a good showing. We had some people come up, like one comic from California. He was just like visiting some friends, and so I'll hop in and. Excuse me. It was a fun time, and goes out late. The hang for the comics afterwards. We go and chat and all that stuff. It was good.
How long has this been going on? This mic.
Basically, once the brewery opened, the second location. So it started up in Birch Bay.
Yeah. I think I've passed that one. Like it's like really like they have this like really crowded kind of like back patio,
it's
right?
Really cool.
Yeah.
My buddy actually.
That's where I thought the comedy was originally.
Oh
yeah.
No. They did start it there.
Yeah.
Nikki Kilpatrick, who runs a lot of shows, she started it there. And my buddy owns the brewery. Like the owner, we've known each other since elementary school. It was his bachelor party that we went to the strip club for.
Nice.
And we.
So he owns that brewery?
He owns both of them.
So Beach Cat.
Him and his business partner Darren.
Oh man, I'd be interested in talking to him about.
Yeah,
some
I'm
beer
sure.
stuff,
I'm sure he'd love to.
Well, yeah. All right. Anyways,
so he opened up the second spot, and he was like, "I want you to do the comedy show.
Nice.
I'm like, of course. And I was like, nervous at first, because it's like you have to be a booker. You have to do all the stuff that comes with producing a show.
And this was last year?
Yeah, well, 2025. It was like in the summer.
Yeah, so summer of last year. So it was the first time. And it had just opened? That brewery just opened? That
second location.
Wow.
Yes.
So, but the other one's been open for a while, right?
Yeah. They opened during COVID, so they right when they like signed stuff to open, COVID hit, they're just like, oh my god. But yeah, we started and we did it outside because it was in the summer and they had this little stage outside and it was boom.
I was there, I think for the July or August one.
Yeah.
And Jessica Piju was there, and Alex Suarez, which I don't know if you know this man, but his social media has been nuked. I don't know what happened.
Alex is an awesome guy. Like every time I interact with him, I'm like, dude, I love you.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he went dark, and something's going on. And,
I think he's got some personal stuff going on. He also has family, wife, kids, and I know that the club up there kind of closed, the Last Laughs Club, but.
Okay.
If Alex is out there, hey, we got fans, you got buddies,
I love
come
you,
on down,
Alex.
come, much love to our Canadian, whatever Trump is doing, he doesn't represent us, okay? We don't
shun us because of this.
We don't want Canada to be the 51st state, all right? They can do their own thing. We like that they're their own thing. I like that they don't let people with DUIs in.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Shout out to my dad. No, he didn't. It wasn't a DUI. He had some other stuff.
Yeah.
Domestic violence. Anyways, but now Alex, man, he's great. Really funny guy. He got to open up for Bert Kreischer at the Great Outdoor Comedy Fest up there in Vancouver, and so hopefully he makes his way down. But he's the few times I've seen him is in Bellingham, and your place was that place was one of them. But that was really fun. Especially. I've only done comedy outdoors a few times, and that was just a nice, nice view. You're right there on the water, on all these nice mix of people.
Yeah.
Old,
You do got to battle
young.
a train though sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But it always makes it very entertaining. How does the comic react to it and stuff? But now they got since it's cold and shitty outside, they have an indoor event center that we've been doing it in. And it's real cool. It's got a stage and everything, and a lot of comics that, especially in like open mics, like they don't know what it's like to be on a stage looking down on.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's really nice.
So, let's see. My mind is going blank. You've been doing. What are some of the other shows up there in Bellingham? Because you said Nikki Kilpatrick.
Yeah.
I don't know her personally. I've seen her name a bunch. I know that she started like a festival, like comedy festival up there.
Yeah, Laughing Hamster.
Laughing Hamster.
Yeah.
Nice name.
And when I first started up there, Joel O'Connor was running a show at this brewery, and I went there, and they had some open mics there, and then it's just kind of the comedy scene there goes up and down, down. And right now there's a few open mics. There's one at Rumors. Then there's one at Ishka's, a bar.
Yes,
Ishka's,
I
Timmy
cannot
Riney.
say that name, but that place is awesome. That was a really. I've only been there once. What day is that? Mondays?
Monday, every Monday. And it's always packed. And it's always a good time. Timmy Riney runs it, and it's spelled weird. It's UISC.
Yeah, it's an Irish traditional Irish pub,
And the
luck of the Irish.
The open mic is called I fucking can't say it. Guffawingham.
Yeah,
Guffawingham.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's the guy that runs it?
Timmy Riney.
No, there's another guy. There's another Bellingham guy that I can't think of his name, but he's been around forever. I think he was at your show last night too.
Brett Emerson?
Brett Emerson, okay, that's right. That guy's cool. Cool guy. I'd love to do a podcast with him. He just came down to Everett to do a show.
Yeah, Brett's cool.
There's a guy named J.R. Berard, who he's a comic from Seattle, and he's been running some shows in Everett, every Wednesday.
Cool.
But I just heard that they just did their last one at their current venue, so they're gonna have to find a new venue. But definitely an option for you if you want to do some more time.
Yeah. But I also would feel bad if I didn't say Nikki's runs shows at Larrabee Lager and the Corner Tap House, and
those sound great.
Those are ticketed shows, and maybe you'll get booked.
Well, okay, so just to be clear, shout out to Nikki Kilpatrick because it sounds like she's doing a lot in the Bellingham scene up there. Much like in the South, you have Allison Fine, who's doing a lot of stuff with her. The Open Mic Collective and all that.
Yeah.
You ever been down to Tacoma for comedy?
Yeah. I did. One time I did an open mic there and killed it.
At TCC?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
nice.
I killed it. And it was like one of my better sets. I go out with a high and I walk out and my car's gone.
Oh.
Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, and I parked really pretty close to the club, and all that was left was my door handle, and I was like, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And luckily my buddy was at the show, and I call him and I'm like, hey, come back and be around me while I wait for the cops. And we're waiting for the cops like 30 minutes, and then I see my car coming back, and we're like, dude, that's my car. And and he's like, hop in, we start like following them, and they start taking off and zipping through, and it's like weird to see your car going off. And the cops end up finally coming, pull us over, let them go. And it's like, cool. And but they understood, and they just were like, whatever. And then later on that night they found the car, so they definitely got scared because these are probably because it's like a Hyundai, so they're like the Kia boys, there's like a young kids taking it for a joyride, and then you get this giant truck chasing you. They were probably like, oh my god, and just ditched it and took off.
That's crazy, man. I never had a car stolen. Wow.
So now it's like I want to do Tacoma comedy, but
just making sure we're still recording.
All right, I want to do Tacoma comedy, but it's like I want a car that's not going to get jacked.
Yeah.
So my car is like, it's red, it has sticker, it's like, steal me, please.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna stay away from Tacoma unless I can get, a ride share or something to get there.
Man, I feel make me feel so bad because that's I know somebody else had said that the one time that they went to Tacoma, like their window got bashed in, and I've never had that experience, knock on wood there, but the scene down there is great for, in a way, I feel like, a lot of guys are a little too influenced by the Austin comedy scene a little bit. But it also feels like a real comedy club, Emerald City is cool. Seattle, you've been there?
I haven't. I need to.
Comedy Bar, it used to be Comedy Bar, now it's Emerald City. It's cool, club comedy's cool, but like Tacoma Comedy Club, you feel like you're this is where the real this is where the big boys play, as they said in WCW.
And I felt it right away. Like it was like I could tell, like, if I wanted to push jokes that are more risque, I could. Like everyone knows this is a joke. It's not like, I have a little freedom. That's how Tony V's is too.
Yeah.
Like you can go up in Tony V's and say whatever, and they'll let you know even if it's kind of offensive. If it's funny, it's funny.
Yeah.
If you go up and you say something offensive, it's not funny, you're gonna know. It's and I feel like that's kind of what I thrive in, because I do want to step on, like I want to, teeter the line, because that's what I grew up with, is that kind of comedy, and but you've got to be comfortable with it and also doing it right way and respectfully.
Yeah.
And
when did you start? I don't even think I asked you.
I started right when COVID, the first time COVID was like, it's done. And then I started, and then it was like, just kidding, COVID's back, 2.0, and it closed everything back down.
So it's kind of like 2021, 2022.
Yeah. And so I started, and the first time it bit me, like I went and checked it out, and was like, what is this like?
Was it Tony V's? Is that
no? This was I think Menace. Brewing had like a place called like the Annex or the Local, and Joel O'Connor ran the show, and it was an open mic. And
Joel O'Connor.
I went and I saw all the people go up and do the open mic, and I was like, I could do this shit. And so I wrote down a bunch of, pretty hacky stuff. Not that I'm not a hack now, but I was like, let me go up, and I planned for 5 minutes, practice it in front of the mirror and everything. Went up and did it in like 2 minutes. I was like, all right, see ya. But I did well enough, and people afterwards like, hey, that was really good for your first time, and I got bit by the bug after that.
I was trying to do something like fun on the sly, but my stupid thing started going crazy. Who were some of the... do you think some of the guys that you were influenced... have your influence changed, over time? From like when you were younger versus when you started comedy versus now?
I don't know. I feel like I was thinking about this of like... I try to avoid too much influence because I want to be me.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be like, oh, he's doing Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
He's doing this. I want to be my own. And so it also comes with like a crux. It's like, I do want to get more into comedy and watch more stuff, but it's like, I can tell that impacts my writing and the way that I deliver and everything. So now when I watch it, I'm super critical in a different way. And which also makes things like, that was also kind of a thing that's a bummer with me getting into comedy is like, me and my wife love watching comedy. And before I started doing it, I saw comedy differently.
Yeah. You were just enjoying it for what it was.
Yeah.
And then now you're looking at the effort and the work and the
I'm like,
details.
this is a special. I'm like, look how much, there's so much meat on that bone that he could have, someone will bring up a topic or a premise, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And then like they'll bring up something else. I'm like, oh, they're gonna go into that. They brought that up, and then they don't circle back to it. And it's just like, this is a special. And I bring it up to my wife, and she's like, you're an asshole. I'm trying to have fun. And I'm like, I don't want to ruin the comedy for you, but it's just the way that I view it is differently. It's more, just is kind of a bummer, but I guess if I got high enough, I could just ignore it. And have fun.
I got, I'm kind of, I don't know where comedy is going, like it's very interesting. We had this, the explosion of the podcast and the Kill Tony, and it seemed like it seemed like 2 years ago in Seattle, like things were hot, and now it seems like kind of on a downslope a little bit, and there's still things going. I mean, the people that are doing it, but I feel like finally now, like there's less posers. I don't know. That's the best way to put it. Is there's less people that get into it who are going to get out of it in 3 to 6 months. Like there's still a couple, but like when I did the open mic at Kirkland. Oh yeah, you came to that one a few times, right?
Yeah,
Whiskey Mile.
Yeah.
You could just tell that there was just a couple people who would come in, and you're like, I'm going to see you 3 times, and then you're never going to be back.
Yeah, the Whiskey Mile was fun for that.
Yeah.
I was also... this is just me being an asshole, but I went to Whiskey Mile one time, and there was like some people there that I'm like, I'm not going to name names or anything, but there was like people that I was like, come on.
Yeah.
And there was a new guy who shows up, and he's like, oh, I've been doing comedy. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you're a comic. Let me and I was like kind of like shitting on these people a little bit. I was like, yeah, they're doing comedy, but they're just here to be here to have something to do.
Yeah.
And he goes like, yeah, but they're comics. And I was like, oh shit, sorry. Yeah. Like he came to their defense, and I was like, all right, I mean, never mind. And then he goes up, and he's one of those comics, and I'm just like, oh, I was just bad man today.
Well, this could just be me and my attitude, but I think a lot of these guys, my opinion, and this could be a controversial opinion, but I don't think it is anybody that's been doing comedy longer than me should be funnier than me. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And when I see somebody who's like been doing this 10 years and I'm getting more laughs than them, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, either take it seriously or quit wasting my time, because we got kids, man. We got the time to get out of the house is limited.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And you were asking about like the dichotomy, the balance of family life and comedy. That's a big thing too. Is like right now, I can't go full throttle in comedy, and so I got to make sure every time I do it, it's meaningful.
Yeah,
like there's people that go up and they're like, I had nothing planned, let me just ramble. And it's like, no, if I go, I'm making concerted effort to be like, I'm working on these bits, and if like I need to be good, and so the way that I view it is like it's quality over quantity, which I know is not great for like stage presence and stuff. Like the more you go up, the better you're gonna be for that. But for me, it's like, let me stock up on all my material and just keep getting better and better. And so then when I can go full throttle because my kids are in school or whatever, then I can.
Yeah. Well, it'll be, one thing that I've figured out is it's not a fast thing that happens, trying to get here and there. Like it took a long time for me to get on a paid show at Tacoma. And even then, that was a one-time kind of fluke. The only reason I was on it is because I know a guy who was on it, and he invited me to be on the show, but had nothing to do with the club. The club did not reach out to put me on it. So it's still, still kind of part of me that's like, oh, I still haven't hit that part yet. I haven't got to that level. But
you're doing the right thing by making the connections, though. Honestly, that's what I see a lot of is connections. And like I can tell, like there's like guys that I'm like cool with, and like they give me some preferential treatment. I appreciate them. But it's so you're doing that part, and then the rest of it will come with more doing it and just prep.
So let me ask you this: what exactly would you like to do with comedy? I mean, like as far as kind of like, what would you like to like kind of get across, what, not necessarily a message, but like when people go to see you, what would you like to convey?
I don't have any big thing deeper other than I want you to laugh. I want you to have a good, like, times is tough, like life is hard. And growing up, without a single parent, stuff like, life can be tough. And there's also people with other circumstances that it could be shitty, and also what's going on in the politics today, and so I want you to come out, and if I make a political joke, it's funny and takes the ease off of it. For me, I'm a people pleaser. I want people to be happy, and so I just want you to take a time to get away from the shittiness of life and be like, hey, we're having a good time and we're laughing. So that's the message, I guess, is this is a break from life.
As time goes on, do you see yourself kind of traveling a little bit more, maybe like doing comedy like out of the state, or like some of the other
it's also a balance with kids,
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking like
in like a dream world,
once you get time, if say you all of a sudden you got all this money and you don't have to work anymore,
dream world. Yes, I'd love to travel. I'd love to do more stuff. I'd love to be in the clubs and have them be like, hey, come do shows, and that's what I dream for. And also, like, I've dreamt of like, oh, maybe doing a podcast, which now I'm on one. Hey
Mom, look at that.
And this is the first one I've done, and it's always been the dream just to get my voice out there, and also just to talk to cool people and work on that communicating. Like today, my entire day was me, a 3-year-old and 1-year-old. And now it's like, now you're going to talk to someone that's an adult, and you're going to be recorded.
Kind of an adult, I got a 7-year-old, so we always talk about butts and vaginas and farts and all that kind of stuff.
The best stuff. Yeah. Poopy that's the killer in my house.
Hell yeah.
Everything is poopy. Poopy bear, poopy, all that stuff.
I gotta poop. She takes her iPad to the bathroom. That's her thing. She's got. As soon as she grabs her iPad, you know where she's going to be for the next 15 minutes. But
I do the same, so can't judge.
I'll tell you, I'm kind of at this weird spot. When I started comedy, I was almost using it as kind of an escape. I was living with my wife and both of her parents. Yeah, and my kid was very young, and during COVID, and then her dad ends up passing away from cancer, and then I start comedy, and within a few months my wife got very sick, and she ended up getting like infection, kind of like a MRSA thing. She was in the hospital for 8 days. I ended up having to take a few months off of comedy, year.
You could have been like, I'm sorry you're sick. I gotta go.
Yeah.
See ya, dude.
Then it's like, Sam, the guy who started the Whiskey Mile thing, he died, 2 months into it. Now my dog had cancer, I had to put it down. So it's like all this crap has been just piling up, and now it's like her mom's like not doing well. So it's like,
damn, you got this dark cloud going.
Yeah,
on, huh?
yeah. But with that said, man, I'm still trying to keep positive.
Yeah,
And I've really been thinking about like, there are plenty of great stand-ups in Seattle, Tacoma, everywhere. The people that are following the model of the Bill Burr and Louis C.K. and that's great. And I love those guys, but that's not me. I think figuring out who I am and what my place is in this whole thing, and so I think going forward, you'll see I'm going to start bringing in just kind of more silly stuff, I want to do some more kind of video kind of sketch stuff. I want to do some more music. I mean, I'm a pretty decent guitar player. I played in a band for 10 years, so
no bragging.
And I was just thinking about like, I haven't heard any great parody songs in a long time, I haven't, like, I used to love The Lonely Island and Tenacious D, and I, not necessarily that's going to be my style, but like I can write a song, why not write a funny song?
Yeah.
And then, I could put out a single. So I could be like, hey, thanks for tuning into Comedy Simp. I don't have any shows coming up, but you can check out my new single. It's on Spotify and then get the merch and blah, blah, blah and all that.
Whatever you find joy with, right?
Yeah. And, I have produced a couple shows. It's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I love participating in shows, but what I would really like to do, and hopefully this message can get across to other people, is, I would like to help other people with their podcasts, because I have a page on Instagram. It's called Seattle Comedy Podcasts.
Okay.
And so basically every comedy podcast that I found, I like made an image for and a background. So, who it is, where you can listen to it. Is it still going on? Is it not going on? And like, so it's kind of like an archive of like the, and there was a lot, there's a lot of people that started podcasts that ended up stopping. And then,
Adam Tiller.
There's still, Adam Tiller. Yeah. And there's still some that are going. And I try to like, it's all the whole Joe Rogan kind of influence of if you find out about this, you might like this. And if you like this, you might even like this. And it's, you have the Comedy Simp, this is my podcast. Sometimes you have Rob on it. You have some, Nick Cody and Casey Judson and all these people. You have the Tarp Report, which is another podcast. Jess Anderson, Sam Miller. You have Roast Busters, which is my favorite one. It's
Beachler, right?
Narn Van, Greg Beachler. Yeah. I was going to be on it. Here's the thing about being in a family, buddy.
Yeah.
Is when they first started that, he was like, do you want to come out on this Tuesday? And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then my wife is like, oh, Steven, that's when Alaska's going to be performing at the school. And it was some like dance, thing. I was like, it's
like the classic.
The one Tuesday that she does a performance in the entire school year has to be the day that they want me to be on the podcast. And
then you do have that classic situation where she looks out and there's just an empty chair.
Yeah. Well,
what's Daddy doing?
In my case, she was like, it was a weird, it's so weird to watch your kid not have a good time. So, she was just very nervous and just hard to follow along and all that. So it's
Not to one up you. My daughter did one of those. Legit ham. She's a showman. Like I don't know if it was like intentional, but like they put her right in the middle, and it was like a Christmas like thing, and she's just doing all the stuff. Like and like showman, and it's just like yes, fuck it.
And that's your comedian right there.
She is already funnier. Than me,
I was gonna say if you have two kids, one of them is definitely gonna lean more towards comedian than the other. Mine is the thing about her is when she's around people she's comfortable with, she is crazy,
Yeah,
just like I'm dancing around and blah, blah, blah. She'll put her phone up. She'll make her own videos.
Yeah.
We don't, I'm like doing everything I can to keep her off of TikTok and social media.
Yeah.
She would love to do her own videos. And so we let her make her own videos for her to watch. And they're, and all, but she's like so animated. But then when there's a group of people, she gets a little nervous, a little shy.
I guess what are your thoughts of like people putting their kids in like TikToks and videos?
I don't like it. I mean, I personally, I have worked really hard not to have her face on the internet.
Good.
I do. If you're like one of my close friends on like Instagram, I'll post it on like the story there, or like I have like a filter for like friends and family on Facebook that has like one or two folders of family stuff that nobody else can see. But but otherwise, I don't put her on YouTube or I don't know. I just felt always.
It's dirty.
It's because here's the truth, Jerry, is that if anything happens and I become a big famous comedian, I do not want them to kidnap my daughter and hold her for ransom.
Shit.
Or stalk her or whatever.
It didn't.
Whoa.
Ooh. And that just happened. I can't remember her name. This Today Show host, or Good Morning America. Her mom got taken.
Oh yeah, I think I heard something.
And they sent like a ransom note, like give them this much Bitcoin. It's like, dude, couldn't even imagine.
I'm gonna mess with. I'm gonna
throw
throw that thing across the room. No, it keeps like turning. I don't. It has like an auto lock or something on it, so. Had to play some burr, burr, burr,
But going back to your comedy of like getting all the podcasts together and stuff, that's like that is great. If you want to focus more on that, like how do you feel? Is comedy like podcasting? Do you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it, but I don't consider it to be like the thing that it's not it's really just a thing to support the comedy.
Gotcha.
I don't think that podcasting for me is like itself an art form or something like that. To me, it's just promotion for the comedy scene, my friends, what I'm working on, that kind of thing. It's more like I think it's just to keep you informed. I think one thing that I like about it is that I'm from California. So like if friends and family want to know what's going on with me, that's kind of the easiest way for them to do it. Cause I'm not the greatest when it comes to keeping up with people, I give up, if I'm doing a lot of texting and the person's not really texting back, I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I'll get back to you later at some point, but I've always, I've recognized that, the other thing about it too is I feel, people make jokes that like, oh, every comedian has a podcast. I think it's not for everybody. Just like weed isn't for everybody, just like alcohol isn't for everybody. But I think that it's no secret that a lot of the biggest comedians have had a podcast because we're at the point in culture where people aren't just connecting with the art, they really want to connect with the artist and find out who that person is. Like my favorite directors, they're like not on social media, so I never know what the hell they're doing and I forget about them. But my favorite, comedians or artists or musicians, they're posting all the time. So I'm always keeping up on what they're up to. Well, so
it would be an awesome thing for you to do if you're like, trying to get this where you're putting all the podcasts together and trying to just boost comedy in this area.
I think
it is awesome.
I think that, this is like big pipe dream kind of thing, but I think that this area could be like its own Austin. Like the opposite of, not saying it's like the woke Austin or anything like that, because that's not the way to put it. But like we have the Pacific Northwest is unique in the sense that like we have 3 major comedy clubs four major comedy clubs between two cities. We have Emerald City Comedy Club. We have Tacoma Comedy Club, both locations. And you have Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. You know,
We have Club Comedy.
yeah, club comedy. I no disrespect, not saying it's not a real comedy club. It's just not the A tier club.
Yeah,
you know, it's Club Comedy and Laughs Comedy Club are. Well, first of all, they're great. They neither one of them will book me. So, I mean, they're doing something right, but I would like an audition though, damn it. Just give me a shot. All right? Some of these people on stage at Laughs Comedy Club bomb at the Whiskey Mile, bomb at the Shanghai Room, bomb at the Water Wheel, bomb at what's another one? The 907 in Renton. But yet they still
came up to Bellingham. They bombed there too.
But somehow they convinced one of the two people who run Laughs Comedy Club that they're funny. It's like, all right, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. So the guy from Laughs Comedy Club has cerebral palsy, and the woman is her husband, and she runs the show. Yeah. So if she doesn't like you, then I guess that's it.
That's how comedy
so I've heard you know, like PJ, you know PJ, like even him, he said that the guy from Laughs enjoyed him, but the wife did not. So
you need having both of them like you is tough. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
but to go back to
and then all the mics, and then just the last thing is all the mics, and then also Bellingham. You know, like Bellingham is, you know, in one day, if you wanted to, you can.
You take the trek up and just.
Well, I don't know if you can go.
Timing.
I don't know if you can go all the way to Bellingham, but on any given day, you can do 3 mics.
Yeah,
for sure. So.
And also Seattle loves comedy. Like if you go, like the big names.
Oh
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
They love it here. Like when they come,
Tony
they go
Hinchcliffe
to the
came to Seattle.
Yeah,
you know,
and like Tom Segura when he went and did Climate Pledge, had the biggest selling, like most tickets sold at Climate Pledge when he came up. So like people want comedy. It's just it needs to be good, and they need to get out of the house to go do it. And getting your name out there and recognition, like podcasts and just making it being like, hey, there is a local scene. Like that's an issue too. Up like when I was doing up in Bellingham, is like people be like, there's no comedy here. And I was like, dude, where have you been? Like there are shows. You just need to see it, and that's also on the people who run shows too of promoting. You know, we also need to get our name out there and be like, hey. And a way you could do that is podcasts or something, just spreading being like a local influencer, I guess.
Yeah, I think that really the way to go forward is to kind of think outside of the box, you know, like, because basically once something catches on, it doesn't work anymore, you know, like the crowd work, you know, everybody, Nate Jackson, Matt Rife, they're doing all the crowd work video. Now everybody does the crowd work, and it's just not as special. You know, Kill Tony was pretty special, and now you see a lot of these Kill Tony copies, you know, and every city's got their own. The weed shows, you know, where you do a set, then you go backstage, you smoke weed, come back out, you do another set. You know, there's a bunch of those too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just thinking like, what
draws?
There's got to be something else. What's the next thing? You know, I think that.
AI, something with AI.
Maybe. And I also think that, you know, comedy is one of those things where it's like everybody is kind of out for themselves. You know, it's kind of a very much a solo endeavor.
Yeah.
However, every so often, you know, there's a right time and a place where you can help other people, you know. I was at a point where I was doing a lot of stuff for other people, like making flyers and stuff like that. And then I was like, this is like, I didn't ask for money or anything like that. I was just doing it to be nice. But then I was like, man, this is too much. I don't want this to be work. I said, I want this to be fun. So if anybody wants me to make them a flyer, just give me 100% creative control. And I got your flyer, you know. I'm not going to give you a, you know, ditty. I already did that one. So. Shit, man. How long have we been going? Look at that. Hour 15.
Sweet. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, other than that, I mean, like, got any future plans? You know, still doing the Southpaw thing every month?
Yeah, and then I will be doing Cats.
Cats, West Side Stories.
In March.
Shout out.
Yeah, on March 11th.
I need to do that one again. I haven't done that in a long time, but I'm going to hit up Ben. I think that he'd be great to come out here and talk.
It's a fun little quirky place. There's a skeleton much like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like an extension of Cats, actually. It kind of feels like it. We got aliens and all that.
Yeah, but other than that, it's just, the grind, working on bits, building material, honing.
Yeah.
Just getting better.
Everything good? Family and all that?
Yeah. Yeah, everything's great.
No plans for any other kids yet?
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh,
we'll see. We'll see. Well, the thing is I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
And if we have a third girl, me with 3 girls, oh my gosh.
Oh, man, it's full house.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like, I don't know, they would hate me. Like, they'd all team up on me.
Well, yeah, man, I think great. Everything you're doing is great.
Thank
and
you.
Yeah,
I think this is great.
The fact that you live in Marysville is awesome because then, you can come by any time. You'll have to come by with Rob. We'll watch some clips and stuff like that next time. And
sure, would love to have it.
And I'm sure I have an idea for some sketches that would be great, and I think you'd probably be good to be the normal guy in the sketch.
I'll be normal.
So, yeah, I don't know if you know Mike Heath and
I saw him at Tony V's.
Mike Heath and Rob Mon. Both of those guys. I'm like, I don't know what. I'm gonna have you two play cops in a sketch. I don't know what,
all right.
but you both have mustaches. And Donald Robert also looks like a cop.
Yes.
He's clean shaven, but Donald Robert, I gotta get that guy on too.
I love Donald Robert.
But yeah, no, there's been a lot of people that want to do the podcast. They just can't commit.
Oh.
Alexa Hansen, she was at your show last night. She'll come out here some point.
Yeah, have they never done podcasts and they're just scared
No,
of it?
they have. It's people are weird. They like drive. People in Washington don't really like driving, or they're like, if I got to drive anything in more than 20 minutes, it's not worth it. And it's like, dude, I drive. I mean, I don't go to Olympia much anymore, but it's 2 hours to Olympia from here.
Yeah.
Hour and a half to Tacoma. It's about an hour and a half to Bellingham.
Yeah.
So, I like going to Bellingham more because there's less traffic. So, but
yeah, if you could avoid Seattle and shit, and like the traffic in that area, I get it.
Goals for this year, though. Let's see. Hopefully, do something. Maybe try to get a show at Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go to Canada and do comedy.
Yeah.
So, Alex, you out there? Hit us up.
Yeah.
You don't got any felonies, right?
No.
Yeah. All right. We can make it in both of us.
My goal definitely for Tacoma is to get a car so I can go to
Yeah.
Tacoma.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hit the clubs in Seattle more.
Well, if you and I are ever on the same night, just let me know. I can swing by.
That'd be awesome.
Usually I drive from work, Mukilteo, but it's not that far out of the way. So
You just got to deal with me ranting the entire time.
Yeah. Or if you get your wife to drop you off at my work, and then I'll drop you off at home.
Oh yeah.
So, well, shit, I got nothing else, man. Gonna just enjoy. Super Bowl.
Hell yes.
Hold on, we're not allowed to say the Super Bowl.
The big game.
The big game is this weekend. I'm not really a football guy. I grew up.
The game is huge.
So yeah, there's a lot of people at this game. When I was a kid, I was kind of a Dallas Cowboy, not by choice, but just because my mom had a boyfriend who was into the Cowboys, and somehow we just had a bunch of Cowboy stuff. But my wife's mom has always been a Seahawks fan. She grew up in Bellingham, so that's kind of how we ended up here in Washington anyways, is wanted to be in this area. And I think, what was it, the last time they were at the Super Bowl was how long ago?
I think it was
like 13 years. Yeah. I remember when they won, and because it was a big deal in their house, in California, and I just met my wife, and it's been Was that the Russell Wilson years?
Yeah,
Was it? Yeah.
There's the two back to back.
Yeah.
They destroyed the Broncos, and then they went to against the Patriots, and then the thing that they've been showing every chance they can of the pick. Instead of running with a Marshawn, they throw it and get picked off and lost to the Patriots. So now it's like the redemption arc.
Yeah.
So.
Well, growing up in Sacramento, this is where I'm from, we didn't have an NFL team, so we had the Bay Area, and it was the 49ers or the Raiders. You'd have to pick one. And I did not like anybody who liked the 49ers. They always were assholes.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I'm
As a
always
Seahawks fan, I agree.
I'm always against the 49ers no matter what. And then the Raiders, I'm like, they're all right. But I will say this. When moving up here, I've never seen so much team spirit.
Yeah.
And then Seahawks. I mean, they love the Seahawks up here. And I could not be, honestly, I'm just happy for everybody who's a fan for having to wait this long for another kind of opportunity for this. And
there's some teams that wait forever, like the Raiders. It's like they've been forever waiting, Like.
So, but you're a sports guy, so you're excited about this, huh?
Huge Seahawks fan, super stoked.
Any parties this weekend?
I'm just gonna have a few people over. It's like I would love to go out and go to like bars and stuff, but with the two kids.
No, I know. I mean, I would rather be at home for a game because you go to the bathroom whenever you want. You get as wasted as you want. Whatever.
How much I care, like it's so dumb to care so much about this thing. None of these players care about you. It doesn't matter. It's just for fun.
Yeah.
But like how much I care, it's like if I'm out in public and they lose, I'm gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be chilling with a few friends at home.
Well, my and honestly, man, it's gonna be really great if they win because everybody around here is just gonna go crazy and everybody's gonna be in a great mood. And
if they lose, it's gonna be unhappy.
I wasn't really. I mean, I never really go out of my way to watch it. Sometimes I watch, sometimes I don't. But I'm really excited to see what Green Day does. Green Day is going to be performing. Green Day is very political.
Bad Bunny too.
And I don't know any Bad Bunny songs, unfortunately, but I'm really excited to see what happens. And man, let's hope for a big game. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
And man, look forward to doing more stuff with you.
Oh,
so
love to. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the pod, and follow Jerry online, and he's gonna post some stuff for you to watch. So.
Up in the comedy
all right, man. I think that's it.
He's a force to be reckoned. Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire.